Americans are clearly not interested in watching pretend basketball. That's not my opinion, it's a fact.
The WNBA recently found itself at the center of controversy when it failed to acknowledge one of its biggest stars, Caitlyn Clark, on her birthday. The situation sparked widespread backlash, with fans expressing their disappointment on social media and questioning the league's priorities. Caitlyn Clark, a player who has significantly impacted the sport and elevated the WNBA to new heights, did not receive the birthday recognition that other stars, such as Reese and A'ja Wilson, had received. This omission stood in stark contrast to the league's usual celebratory posts for other players and highlighted a troubling trend of missed opportunities to market and embrace its brightest stars. Caitlyn Clark's absence from the WNBA's social media celebrations came as a surprise, especially given her status as one of the league's most marketable and impactful players. Clark has brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA.
Missed rows on True TV, 76,000. I said this last time, shout out to Mrs. Me.
Drawing large crowds, breaking viewership records, and boosting merchandise sales with her dynamic play and magnetic presence on the court. She has redefined the game of women's basketball, attracting a new generation of fans who admire her confidence, fierce competitiveness, and unrelenting drive. So when her birthday arrived, fans and analysts alike expected a simple acknowledgement from the league. However, that acknowledgement never came, raising questions about the WNBA's handling of its most marketable star. The WNBA's silence on Clark's birthday is not just a missed social media post.
The
reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
It represents a much larger issue within the league. Its inability to fully embrace new talent and elevate players who have the potential to take the sport to the next level. Caitlyn Clark's rise to stardom has been nothing short of meteoric, and her contributions to the league have been undeniable. Yet, by failing to celebrate her achievements, the WNBA risked alienating one of its most important assets and sending a troubling message to both players and fans. When players like Reese and A'ja Wilson receive birthday wishes, the lack of similar recognition for Clark becomes all the more glaring. The WNBA's treatment of Clark raises concerns about how the league handles its promotional efforts and whether it is willing to invest in players who bring a fresh, sometimes polarizing energy to the game. Caitlyn Clark's unapologetic attitude and fiery demeanor on the court have made her a polarizing figure among some fans, but they have also endeared her to a younger audience that appreciates her authenticity and passion. This could explain some of the reluctance to fully embrace her, but it also highlights a flaw in the WNBA's approach to marketing.
Gotta be completely honest here. It is a league first and foremost, and the most important thing is that the league...
Its stars ignoring Clark's birthday was not just an oversight. It was a missed opportunity to showcase the league's unity and appreciation for its players. The WNBA has long struggled to gain mainstream recognition, and by sidelining one of its biggest stars, the league risks undermining its own efforts to grow the game. Caitlyn Clark has brought relevance to women's basketball in a crowded sports landscape, and the league should be doing everything it can to capitalize on her appeal, not sidelining her in moments that matter. Caitlyn Clark's influence has been felt far beyond the court. When she plays, arenas sell out and television ratings soar. Her merchandise flies off the shelves, and her name is now synonymous with excellence in women's basketball. The WNBA, however, has not always done enough to recognize her contributions and elevate her to the level of stardom she deserves.
It has the potential to be. Otherwise, once that TV deal is done in 3 years, it's over. And right now, this has not been the greatest look in the world for Unrivaled.
Fans have taken to social media to voice their frustrations, with many questioning why Clark, a player who has single-handedly drawn attention to the league, was ignored on her special day. This failure to acknowledge Clark's birthday speaks to broader issues within the WNBA, including an apparent preference for promoting established stars over emerging ones. It raises questions about whether the league is willing to fully embrace new talent, or if there are underlying biases at play. The WNBA has often been criticized for not doing enough to market its players, and by ignoring Clark, the league risks perpetuating the narrative that it is not fully supportive of its stars, particularly those who bring something new to the game. Caitlyn Clark's rise to prominence has been accompanied by controversy, particularly surrounding her competitive spirit and on-court demeanor. Some fans have criticized her for complaining about fouls or for her intense approach to the game. But these qualities are also what make her so captivating to a large segment of the fan base. She is unapologetically herself, and her confidence has been a breath of fresh air for a sport that has often struggled with visibility and recognition. The WNBA should be celebrating her as a trailblazer, not shying away from her fierce competitiveness.
Journal, unrivaled, averaging 204,000 viewers to date. Monday night, there were 2 more games broadcast on TV.
Unlike many athletes who rely on their team's success or their role within a system, Clark has become a sensation in her own right. Her impact on the WNBA's visibility cannot be overstated. When she takes the floor, arenas fill up, television ratings soar, and her jerseys fly off the shelves. Simply put, Caitlyn Clark has made women's basketball a must-watch event. So, on a day when the WNBA could have seized the chance to acknowledge one of its greatest assets, it failed to do so. The league did wish a happy birthday to other stars like Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson. However, when it came to Caitlyn Clark, the silence was deafening. It wasn't just a missed opportunity to celebrate a player's birthday. It was a missed opportunity to showcase the league's unity and appreciation for one of its brightest stars. If the WNBA truly understands the business of basketball, they should have recognized the undeniable value Clark brings. Many fans have expressed confusion over the snub, asking why the league would ignore the birthday of a player who has brought so much attention to the WNBA. Some suggest that this could be a reflection of deeper issues within the league.
Interesting choice of words, phantom. It perfectly describes their ratings. Their audience is a ghost. They literally cannot find people willing to watch.
Possibly rooted in biases or an unwillingness to fully embrace new talent that doesn't necessarily fit into the league's established mold. Caitlyn Clark's bold personality and unapologetic demeanor on the court may not align with the WNBA's traditionally polished image, but this is precisely why she resonates with younger audiences who are drawn to her authenticity. Caitlyn Clark's meteoric rise has been met with some resistance from within the WNBA, and it's not just about her on-court performance. Some former and current players may feel that the attention Clark receives is disproportionate to her contributions, given that there are other established stars in the league who have been contributing for much longer. But it's important to recognize that Caitlyn Clark's rise is not just about individual accolades. It's about the broader impact she has had on the visibility and growth of the league itself.
But Angel Reese does not belong in this league. Angel Reese, this league is a paycheck for Angel Reese.
In the realm of sports, new stars often face resistance, especially when their success challenges the established order. Clark has faced criticism for her intensity, her competitiveness, and her ability to take the spotlight. But it is these very traits that have made her so appealing to new generations of fans. As the WNBA continues to grow and strive for greater mainstream recognition,
is that the Rose and Lunar Owls game had 89,000 people. There were less than 100,000 people watching this.
It must learn to embrace players like Caitlyn Clark, whose appeal transcends the sport and draws in new audiences. The WNBA is still in the process of carving out its place in the mainstream sports conversation. While it has made significant strides in recent years, it still faces challenges in gaining the kind of widespread recognition and media attention that other leagues enjoy. In this context, celebrating players like Caitlyn Clark, who can bring in new fans and create buzz for the sport, is more important than ever. By failing to acknowledge Clark's birthday, the WNBA sent the wrong message to both fans and players, that even its brightest stars aren't always valued as they should be.
Absolutely crazy. This was a game where Angel Reese played. She is supposed to be the biggest draw.
This omission wasn't just a missed marketing opportunity. It was a failure to show the kind of support and unity that the league desperately needs. In an era where digital presence and social media influence are key to an athlete's brand, a simple birthday post could have gone a long way in reinforcing Clark's status as a central figure in women's basketball. Instead, the WNBA risked alienating her and the fans who have come to support her. Fans took to social media in droves to express their disappointment, calling out the league for its apparent disregard of Clark's significance. Many wondered whether this was a deliberate oversight or simply a result of poor planning. Regardless of the cause, the message was clear. Caitlyn Clark deserves better. Her rise has brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA, and she continues to break records and defy expectations.
Like, Angel Reese played over Azare. Like, they started Angel Reese in the fourth over Azare, and look, Angel Reese had a horrific game. Like, a terrible, terrible, terrible game.
The league should be doing everything in its power to support her and celebrate her accomplishments, not ignore them. Caitlyn Clark is more than just a player. She is a symbol of what women's basketball can become. With her explosive performances and fearless attitude, she has redefined what it means to dominate the game. When she steps onto the court, she doesn't just play basketball, she makes history. Her influence stretches beyond the numbers, as she's helped elevate the entire profile of women's sports. But this influence also brings with it a responsibility for the league to recognize and support her in every way possible.